Welcome to episode 34 of the Italian Americans in Hollywood podcast series. I'm Daley Giacopella,
And I'm Sadie Bruni.
and today we're shining the spotlight on a true Hollywood chameleon, Bobby Darin.
You probably know him from his music. Mac the Knife comes to mind.
Such a classic.
But as we'll see, there was so much more to this Italian-American icon.
We're going to try to uncover the man behind all those hit songs
The actor behind that heartthrob image.
and explore the twists and turns of his fascinating career.
Buckle up, because we're taking a journey through a life that was lived at warp speed.
Let's rewind all the way back to the beginning. Walden Robert Casotto, that was his given name.
Bobby Darin's early life was shrouded in a family secret.
Secret.
He actually grew up thinking his grandmother was his mother,
Wow.
and that his mother was his sister.
Really?
It wasn't just a random family quirk, it was a deliberate decision to protect his mother,
I see.
because she had him very young.
Okay.
And back then, that carried a lot of social stigma.
It makes you think about the weight of that secret. Growing up with that and then finding out the truth when he was 32.
Absolutely. It must have been a complete shock, a total upheaval of his world.
It makes you wonder how that early experience might have shaped him.
It had to.
His personality, his drive to succeed.
I think so.
Yeah.
Almost this need to forge his own identity.
To prove himself on his own terms.
It really highlights how family dynamics can have these lasting effects
devils.
on our ambitions.
Voices. But even with that complex family background, his talent was undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
Pop, jazz, rock and roll, folk swing, even country.
He really did it all.
He was a master of so many genres.
A true musical chameleon.
Speaking of chameleons, let's talk about his breakout hit, Splish Splash.
The song that was written in an hour?
An hour.
Are you serious?
And get this, it was all because of a phone call from a radio DJ's mother.
You can't make this stuff up.
It's a story you wouldn't believe if it weren't true. Murray Kaufman, he was the DJ, contacted Bobby.
Because his mother, who was a songwriter herself, was convinced that Splish Splash Take a Bath had hit potential.
That's hilarious.
It really is.
Bobby was struggling to make a name for himself at the time.
So he took on the challenge, maybe out of desperation, who knows.
And the rest is history.
The song launched him into the spotlight.
But it wasn't just a fluke. He had the talent to back it up.
And the stage presence, too. Don't forget that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he didn't limit himself to music either.
That's right. From writing hits for Connie Francis to sharing the screen with Hollywood giants.
Rock Hudson, Sidney Poitier, Gregory Peck. That's some serious company.
It is. And what's remarkable is that he didn't just take any role that came his way.
He was selective.
He was looking for projects that showcased his range, his ability to play characters with depth.
He wanted to be taken seriously as an actor.
More than just a singer trying his luck in Hollywood.
And he worked hard to prove himself.
Take his role in Captain Newman, MD, for example.
He held his own alongside Gregory Peck.
And even earned an Oscar nomination for that performance.
That's talent.
Dedication to his craft.
He was a true artist, always striving to push his boundaries.
Absolutely. He had this unwavering ambition, this drive to excel, to really leave his mark on the world.
And he did, on so many levels.
Now let's talk about his personal life.
Which was often front page news.
His marriage to Sandra Dee, America's sweetheart.
They were the golden couple of the early 60s.
Their romance was the kind that fueled magazine covers.
And captured the public's imagination.
On the surface, they were the picture of young love, success, and glamour.
But as we know, celebrity relationships are often far more complex behind the scenes.
You've got the pressures of fame, the demands of their careers.
And the complexities of a relationship constantly in the public eye.
It's a reminder that even the most seemingly perfect couples face their own private battles.
Absolutely.
We tend to romanticize these celebrity relationships.
But they're not immune to the same challenges as any other relationship.
Maybe even more so, with the constant scrutiny and lack of privacy.
The weight of those expectations can be crushing.
It definitely takes a toll.
Please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, if you're a proud Italian American, check out this fantastic book on Italian American history. The link is in the video description. Now back to Bobby's career.
Wow.
I think it's interesting how his personal life often intertwined with his professional life.
It did. He and Sandra Dee starred in several films together.
And their on-screen chemistry was undeniable.
But did that dynamic blur the lines between their real-life relationship and their acting roles?
That's the question, isn't it?
It's something to think about.
It's hard to say for sure, but it's possible their personal connection added a layer of authenticity to their performances.
Right.
But they were also both very skilled actors.
capable of creating believable characters and relationships regardless of their personal feelings.
So how do they navigate those boundaries?
Especially in a time when Hollywood romances were often exploited for publicity.
To boost box office numbers?
Did they ever feel used? Pressured to play up their relationship for the sake of their careers?
These are the kinds of questions we'll continue to explore as we dig deeper into Bobby Darin's life and career.
Stay tuned because there's so much more to uncover. You know, it's interesting to think about the pressure cooker of Hollywood fame.
Especially for a young couple in the spotlight.
And let's not forget about Bobby's heart condition.
Right. He knew from a young age that he was living on borrowed time.
That had to weigh on him.
It makes you wonder how that knowledge affected his choices.
His drive.
Did he feel a sense of urgency to accomplish as much as he could?
Maybe knowing his time might be limited.
It's possible.
Maybe that fueled his incredible work ethic.
His need to constantly challenge himself.
To push the limits of his talent.
It's as if he was saying, I'm here, I'm going to make the most of it, and I'm going to leave my mark on the world.
And he did.
He really did, on so many levels.
But there's also this darker side to his story.
The one that emerged after the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy.
Someone he really admired.
A turning point.
It sent him into a period of soul-searching.
A retreat from the glamour of Hollywood.
It's like these pivotal moments in his life, both personal and political.
They coincided with a shift in his creative direction.
His music became more introspective.
Embracing folk and protest songs.
It wasn't just a stylistic change.
It was a choice to use his platform to address social injustice.
To advocate for change, to reflect the turbulent times he was living in.
It was a bold move for a mainstream entertainer at the time.
It showed a real depth of character.
It's a reminder that behind the fame and fortune,
Behind the hit songs and the Hollywood romances,
there was a real person with complex emotions and struggles.
and a desire to make a difference in the world.
Let's talk about some of his other films after Captain Newman.
He starred in That Funny Feeling with Sandra Dee,
Their last film together.
marking the end of their on-screen partnership and their marriage.
A bittersweet reminder of the fleeting nature of fame.
And the challenges of sustaining a relationship under the public eye.
But even with all that going on, he didn't shy away from challenging roles.
In Gunfight in Abilene, he played a gunfighter with a conscience.
A different kind of role for him.
It showed his versatility, his willingness to move beyond the typical heartthrob image.
He wasn't afraid to take risks.
The same year, he also starred in a British mystery thriller, Stranger in the House.
With James Mason, no less.
A true film legend.
A testament to Bobby's talent, that he could hold his own against such a seasoned actor.
And then there was The Happy Ending with Gene Simmons.
Another Hollywood icon.
It seemed he was actively seeking roles that allowed him to explore a wider range of emotions.
To delve into more complex characters.
To really shed that teen idol image.
He wanted to be recognized for his talent as a dramatic actor.
Not just his looks or his musical success.
His final film, Happy Mother's Day, Love, George,
a dark comedy released in 1973.
solidified this shift toward more unconventional roles.
It makes you wonder what other choices he might have made.
If his life hadn't been cut short.
He was clearly evolving as an artist, pushing boundaries.
Please subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you're a proud Italian-American, check out this fantastic book on Italian-American history. The link is in the video description. Bobby's filmography might be short,
But it's impactful.
packed with memorable performances.
That showcase his incredible range.
His story in Hollywood is one of ambition, talent.
And a relentless drive to prove himself.
But it's just one chapter in a life full of twists and turns.
In the next part, we'll explore his musical evolution, his political activism.
And the lasting legacy he left behind.
We've spent a lot of time talking about Bobby Darin's time in Hollywood.
But we can't forget about the music.
Music was always his first love.
It was the foundation of his career.
But he never wanted to be put in a box.
He really didn't.
Teen idol, crooner, pop sensation, folk artist.
Even protest songs.
During such a turbulent time in history,
It's amazing how he just flowed from one genre to the next.
his musical evolution shows just how versatile he was.
Always willing to try something new.
He wasn't just chasing trends, he was creating them.
Forging his own sound, his own style.
And you have to wonder how his early life experiences influenced his music.
The family's secret.
The need to create his own identity.
There's a certain rawness in his music.
A vulnerability.
Even in the upbeat songs.
You can hear it in his voice.
In his phrasing,
The way he connects the lyrics,
he had this ability to connect with people on such a deep level.
whether he was singing a jazz standard or a romantic ballad,
He drew you in.
made you feel every word.
And let's not forget about his songwriting.
He wrote hits for himself and for other artists
So many iconic tunes,
that are still popular today.
covered by countless musicians.
His legacy lives on through his music.
He had this knack for writing catchy melodies.
And lyrics that really captured the human experience.
Love, loss, longing, hope.
The search for meaning.
His songs weren't just empty words.
They were reflections of his soul.
His perspective on the world.
His own personal journey.
And then you have his political activism.
He wasn't afraid to use his platform to speak out.
A vocal supporter of Robert F. Kennedy.
And deeply affected by his assassination,
That seemed to be a turning point for him.
leading him to embrace folk and protest music,
To express his disillusionment.
to advocate for change.
It was a risk for a celebrity at that time.
But he didn't shy away from it.
He used his music to challenge the status quo.
To be a voice for the voiceless.
He even started his own record label, Direction Records,
focused on folk and protest music.
providing a platform for artists who shared his vision.
It showed his commitment to making a difference.
It's really incredible what he accomplished in such a short life.
Singer, actor, songwriter, activist.
A true force of nature.
He left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry.
And beyond.
His legacy is so multifaceted.
Grammy Award-winning artist,
Oscar-nominated actor,
successful songwriter,
television host.
a passionate advocate for social change.
He defied categorization,
Pushed a boundary.
redefined what it meant to be an entertainer.
Gone too soon at the age of 37.
But his impact is still felt today.
His music is still played.
His films are still enjoyed.
His story continues to inspire.
Bobby Darin's life was a testament to the power of talent, ambition, and resilience.
It reminds us that we can achieve great things even when facing adversity.
A life filled with passion, creativity.
And a desire to connect with others through art.
A legacy worth celebrating.
Please subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you're a proud Italian American, there's a fantastic book on Italian American history. The link is in the video description. What do you think about Bobby Darin's story?
What resonated with you the most?
His musical versatility? His Hollywood career?
His personal struggles?
Or his activism?
Whatever it is, Bobby Darin's legacy reminds us to embrace our passions.
To chase our dreams?
And use our voices to make the world a better place.
Thank you for joining us as we explore the extraordinary life of Bobby Darin.
Until next time.
Keep exploring.